Before we get into the ITO Cup, news just in from the Nigeria Wrestling Federation. Despite the normal funding issue, they have released, they have unveiled the names of athletes that represent the country at the World Championships. Wow. 6 wrestlers and 2 coaches will be going to the World Championships that will serve to start in 5 days' time. The 21st till the 26th in Paris, France. We're going to be having the World Championships of Wrestling. Let's run through the names. You know, bless Adekroye Oduayo in the 55 kg freestyle. She will be going to the World Championship. Blessing Oburududu in the 63 kg. Aminata Deni is also in the team Messi Genesis in the 48 kg category. Amaz Daniel for the men. So it's 4 ladies and 2 men. And then Emmanuel John in the 70 kg. Coach Victor Kode and Coach Purity Aku will be leading the team to the World Championships. Let's just talk quickly on this one. Funding has been a major issue, but this is good news that the Federation, they've tried to pull it together, because we need to go to this sort of competitions. We have the Commonwealth Games coming. It is the persons you go against. Yeah, you likely meet them again, and it is the experience you get from Paris that you use in Australia.
Absolutely. You must commend the chairman, and he's been able to do a fantastic job, you know, with the help of Bayelsa State government, of course, and they've really helped. And if you don't, these are the competitions. If you don't attend these competitions, how can you even get better? How can you even know how the quality of what you've got? You know, so I think they've been able to do a fantastic job. Last time around, they had 20, you know, contingent of 20. They were able to sponsor 16. And the Nigerian military helped them as well. So they've been able to know how to move within the circle to generate the required support, you know, to be able to go to tournaments like this. Because if you don't go to tournaments like this, you just can't really get.
I mean, the big guys are coming to town, and you are missing. I mean, so
they are really doing a great job, I must say. And I don't know, maybe they should some of the ideas that they are using, but they should let other federations know about it, because the way they go about it, and the funding has been an issue that has always, you know, kind of restrict. You saw what happened with table tennis, where the young lads couldn't make it, in spite of the fact that they were in camp for weeks, you know, and somehow wrestling have been able to, you know, to gather muster support from Bayelsa State governor.
That's right.
And, you know, and it did so much experience.
Joseph, it's because people will put their money where they see quality, where they see credibility, transparency. When you don't have the square pegs in round holes, the president of the federation, Mr. Danny Gali, has been there, done that with wrestling, and we can see, and it is showing. So he's thinking, how can Oduayo Adekroye not be at the World Championships? I mean, these are champions. They need to keep winning.
When the federation heads were elected, and they were celebrating. I was concerned, because what were they celebrating? Because quite frankly, putting square pegs in a square hole means that you have to elect people who understand, you know, the trappings of what they are getting into. Because the heart of the issues that most federations have had is funding. So if you put someone there who doesn't understand, who doesn't have a solution, what will happen is that he would get there and he would choke. So obviously, Gali has done his homework long before now. So when he got in there, it wasn't the question of let me start thinking. He just started, you know, pressing buttons, getting his contact in place. Because you would always have tournaments to attend, and you would almost, the way it is now, almost have the ministries will not come forth for you. So what is your plan B? So if you don't have a plan B long before you get into office, what will happen is that you still go cup in hand, expecting the ministry to give you money, and, you know, because you don't have a plan B. That's it. So that's why most of these federations, they struggle, because their chairmen haven't thought of this. But it's so sad that you can get into a position of this sensitive position.
While we commend those presidents that are going out of the way, that have shown passion, it doesn't mean that the Ministry for Youth and Sport shouldn't do what they need to do. These guys are going to represent Nigeria. So the Ministry for Youth and Sport, look, it should be their responsibility. And if these guys are representing the country, and you have someone, for instance, like Mr. Danny Gali, all you need to do is support them. You know, that's the least you can do.
Under an ideal situation, Austin, we don't live in an ideal situation. You know, one would expect the ministry to at least provide some baseline support, you know, to help. It's not everybody that will go to play football. Provide some baseline support to be able to enable them to at least get to shoreline before, you know, hitting the sea. But the situation, what we have in the country now, is that there are issues with funding, and it's always been the issue. So if you are coming into this position, whatever plans you have, it should be at the heart of it. How do I navigate through this difficulty? Because quite frankly, it's becoming tiring. It's annoying to still expect, to still complain about the ministry not providing funds. It's something that has almost come to become, a law in this country, where the ministry would always delay and take time and subject it to a manner of bureaucratic issues. It will always be there. So if you are somebody who is coming to that, but you must know that this is something that this is the one-on-one. It is something that is there as an issue. So how do I navigate through the issue? You must have it as a plan. So if you don't have that as a plan, definitely you come in there and begin to complain that there's no funding, we can't go for competition, and then you begin to run the association aground practically.
So that's it. Odunayo Adekroye, Blessing Oburududu, Aminata Deni, Mercy Genesis, Amas Daniel, and Emmanuel John. They will represent Nigeria at the World Wrestling Championships that is scheduled to start on the 21st of this month, 5 days from now in Paris. But before the main championships, the big guys will sit down. Remember, Nigeria is bidding to host the African Wrestling Championships alongside Tunisia. They will announce the winner on the 18th. So the president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation needs to be in Paris for that one. It's part of the things that we're talking about. For instance, you bring the wrestling championships here, it means we are getting bigger on the world stage. So we must make things top notch.
Yeah, definitely. You cannot be thinking of hosting a tournament and yet you cannot attend one. So really, you can't say you want to bring wrestling to maybe Bayelsa out to Nigeria, and you cannot afford to send athletes there. So it's almost as if they are condemned to. But it's a very bold idea. I must salute them. In this economic crunch that we have, and I'm sure he must have done his homework and ensure that
persons need to step up. We listened to Aisha Fallow. They say, yes, we know we did our bid, but some persons also came. The Rivers State government says, look, we love what is happening. So bring the wrestling championships for Africa to Rivers State. We want to start from there. That alone is motivation. If the Ministry for Youth and Sports, they're even making calls or telling persons that, look, we understand that this is coming on. We cannot do this big, but we can do this small. It's encouraging.
The same thing happened with the sports festival when Akwa Ibom State government said that they need some form of assistance. Cross River State government. And the ministry were just holding back and not being forthcoming. And we know what the festival is suffering now as a result of it. If the ministry could come in, they can come in and provide, no matter how small, necessary assistance. It will go, because by bits, everybody makes his own contribution. We have a successful tournament, because this is not just a River State thing. This is a Nigerian thing. The foreigners are coming here, they are going to spend dollars, and it's great publicity for the country, and tourism is there as well.
So you don't think about bidding alongside Tunisia that we know they are doing so well with infrastructure development.
Exactly.
It just tells us that we want to develop the sport, and in doing things as these, I say, it's not wrestling, but it takes the pressure off football. I'll get back to you. Sports tonight on Channels Television. We're talking about what's going down in your world of sports. Wrestling just gone by. Team Nigeria, they have unveiled 6 wrestlers that represent the country at the World Championships. They will be led by 2 top coaches, Victor Kode and Coach Purity Akwu. You know him. He goes everywhere with Odunayo Adekroye. But before then, we'll be hoping to win the bid to host the Africa Wrestling Championship. We'll go on a quick break now. When we come back, it's just the round of 64 in the ITO Cup, but some big teams have already been shown the way out. We'll talk about it when we come back. Stay.